Happy Monday and welcome to 31 Days of Walking in Wisdom. We are using the book of Proverbs for those of you that may be new to the podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Rashana Smith, and we like to start our podcast out every morning by declaring that we walk in the wisdom of the Lord. So if you would, go ahead and put in the comments, walk in the wisdom of the Lord, and let's get started. And so if you are watching for the first time, please put a one in the comments so that we can say hello and welcome you to the community. And if you are watching the replay, please type replay in the comments. Okay. Those of you, as you watch it, we are live on Facebook Live as well as YouTube this morning at 7 a.m. You can find us here for the rest of the month through the 31st of March. This is a journey of wisdom, and we are using the book of Proverbs and my book, The Virtuous Influencer, that can be found on my website, drrashanasmith.com, or on Amazon. All right, so let's start day 17. Day 17 is, the title is Move in Silence. And our key scripture comes from 17:27. He that has knowledge spares his words, and a man of understanding is of an excellent spirit. Okay. And so, of course, we all, have heard people say they're moving in silence. And I think sometimes when we hear people say that, we maybe think that they have to move in silence because they're afraid that someone may try to sabotage them or try to create some type of unnecessary warfare as it relates to their efforts. But the word tells us to be very quiet and have discretion about what you're doing, even the things that God has revealed to you. And so premature conversation creates unnecessary warfare. Even at the infancy stage, you don't need to share your vision with people that just don't get it because they can be vision snatchers, vision killers. They can discourage you. And I think a lot of times, a lot of vision abortions have taken place because we were around people that we should not have shared our vision with. Okay. And so we're going to start by talking about, of course, the word in Proverbs, verse 1. It says, a friend loves at all times. I want those of you that are committing to reading, and I haven't done this one in a while, committing to reading Proverbs 17, the entire, I'm not turning there so y'all hear my Bible. I'm sorry, but I got to get there. Proverbs 17. But it sounds good, doesn't it? It says, Proverbs 17, better is a dry morsel and a quietness therewith than an house full of sacrifices with strife. A wise servant shall have rule over a son that causes shame, and shall have part of the inheritance among the brethren. The fining pot is for silver, and the furnace for gold, but the Lord trieth the hearts. And the wicked doer gives heed to false lips, and a liar give ear to a naughty tongue. Whosoever mocketh the poor and reproacheth his maker, and he that is glad at calamity shall be unpunished, shall not go unpunished. And then it starts talking about children's children are the crown of old men, and the glory of children are their fathers. Excellent speech becometh not a fool, much less do lying lips a prince. A gift is as a precious stone in the eyes of him that hath it. Whatsoever it turneth, it prospers. He that cometh or covereth the transgression seeketh love, but he that repeateth a matter separated very friends. And so this is still talking about friendship, of course, and how we need to make sure that we are surrounded by people and discussing our vision and the things that God has shared with us with people that we can trust. When God gives vision and dreams, it's imperative that you pray first before sharing it with others. Chances are the person on the receiving end of the conversation may be either confused, perplexed, or even fearful of you pursuing what you share. And so sometimes we don't understand, but our very friends may fight our vision. You know, keep your excitement. Okay. And sometimes the way you keep your excitement is by keeping it to yourself. I hate to say it, but I'm telling you, sometimes we don't get the reaction that we're expecting when we're excited. And then when you drop it on somebody and they just have this blank look on their face because they don't get it. And it's because vision is singular. And many times the excitement and the zeal and the optimism about that dream or that vision can only be um, experienced from the person that God gave it to. When God releases vision, he also releases the measure of excitement and faith to push it to manifestation. Don't allow your fire to be quenched by someone who can't see what has only been revealed to you. And so I give you a few tips on moving in silence. Okay. I'm also going to remind you guys that today I'm going to come out with 3 ways to recover or tap back into your zeal if you've lost it. And so you please look for that post later on, because now more than ever, the Lord has just impressed on my heart to be very intentional about really encouraging people and helping them stay on fire for God, on fire for the things of Christ, to stay stirred up in their kingdom calling and their assignment, and to really be um, you know encouraged and not take a back seat, or continue to wait to operate in their gifts and do what God has called them to do. And so sometimes, because people that know God spoke to them are looking for a human to verify what you heard the Lord say. And when you don't get it, you begin to sit down, you begin to second guess. The hesitation sets in, doubt, fear, and rejection may even set in. The fear of failure, the fear that you won't be received may set in because no one else verified what God has given you. But I want to give you some tips about moving in silence that I've learned over the years. Visions and dreams should only be shared with those who can be trusted to run with it. In other words, the key to if you should share your vision with someone at its infancy stage is, can they run with it? Do they have the ability to help you and further the vision? If they're not, they probably don't need to be included in the infancy stage of your vision. Number 2, don't try to rush a masterpiece. And y'all, I read a lot. I'm a reader. I used to be an English teacher, and I love to read. And I I've learned over the years that some of the most famous and most successful people, like Gucci, for years, I think he was an elevator operator, and he designed the first leather straps instead of purses. He first designed for horses the bridles and the saddles on the horses. So he didn't start out making purses. And I think it said that Mona Lisa it took 4 years to paint one painting, so don't try to rush what God is trying to make your biggest or best work. One thing that the Lord spoke to me is when I really was in a place where I felt like I was behind schedule. And if you guys understand what I mean and you can relate, this nugget is for you. When I really felt like I was behind schedule and I knew that I was on edge, I felt like that I should be further along. God had to really minister to me and say, if you just do things my way, pull on the side of the road and stop at this red light, because I have your life at a red light. I've placed a pause on your life. If you just obey me and do the work, when I turn your light green, you'll have to beg me for a red light, because that's when you'll do your biggest and best work, and it'll be your longest and strongest run. I don't know about you, but some of you may have to say, Lord, I'm going to do it your way so that you can put the green light on my life and I can have the longest and strongest run. I know that's a long affirmation, but take whichever part you need and put it in the comments. God needs us to do things his way and to listen to his heart concerning the way that he wants us to do things. Number three, visions and dreams require instruction and strategy. Take time to listen, pray, and plan. And I always like to say that God will reveal a vision and a dream, but instruction and strategy come through relationship with him. That's a mouthful. Sometimes we're looking for the strategy and the instruction, but for you to get that strategy and the instruction, the intimate things, you have to have a deeper relationship with God. So what I realized was that God gives vision and dreams to everybody. You know, it's not unusual and uncommon for everybody to have dreams and visions, but the instruction and strategy of that dream and vision comes with relationship with the Father. Number four, take ownership of the dreams and visions and be 100% invested. Manifestation doesn't happen overnight. Consistency defeats resistance. And so, of course, we know that really consistency or to be consistent creates the spirit of excellence. When you look at excellence, it means to be consistent. And so many of us are trying to do things perfect, but excellence is not perfection. It is the spirit of consistency. It is to continue to move and forge ahead in spite of adversity, conflict, and hardship. And many of us need to learn that it's not about being perfect, but it's about being consistent and not giving up on what God has given us. And then number five, which is a bonus, and this is not in the book. I had to write this one in the comments. Take back your ear. Oh, take back your ear. In other words, who has your ear? Who has been critical? Who has been placing doubt? Who has been speaking against the very thing that you've been praying for? Take back your ear. If it's not God, they don't need your ear. And many of us need to snatch back our ear, take back our ear, and turn the mute button on many people and many environments, and even the saboteur that's on the inside of us that tells us this is not going to work in our favor. Your affirmation for today says, I believe in my dreams and visions, and I constantly make time to sit quietly to receive wisdom about how to fulfill my purpose. Vision is a daily thing. And I tell people all the time, you can do a vision board, but if you're not looking at and you're not doing something on your vision board on a daily basis, it's just a pipe dream. You just got a beautiful picture and some cute little cuttings out of a magazine, but you don't have a vision. If you're not praying about it, if you're not looking at it, if it not checking off things on your vision board, it's just a pretty collage. And we have to learn that a vision is a part of your everyday life. I need y'all to put that in the comments. If it's on your vision board, it has to become a part of your everyday life, right? And so don't vision cast something you're not willing to make a task, a daily task. If it's not an errand, if it's not a task, if it's not a chore, if it's not a goal, then it shouldn't be on your vision board. Wisdom note for today: list 2 visions and or dreams you are expecting to come to pass. And so, of course, I've written my one vision and one dream because I am expecting it to come to pass, and I do declare it, affirm it over my life, and I also have those doable action steps to see them come to pass because I know that I have to participate with the prophecy. I have to envision the vision, and I have to believe God for the dreams that he shows me. One thing, and I want to leave you guys with this as you guys are putting your takeaways in the comments. One thing the Lord told me, he said, your dream can become a reality if you believe it to be true. And many of us are waiting for God to convince us that what he showed us is true. But you have to receive it in the spirit first, and then it'll happen in the natural. There's two levels of ownership. When God shows a vision to us, the first vision is spiritual. We take ownership of it in the spirit, though it is not um, manifested itself. It has not come to the natural yet. It has happened in the spirit. When you take ownership of that thing, it's already come to pass. And so we believe and receive it by faith that whatever God has shown us, When we believe it, we have it, we take ownership of it, and then we align our lives so that we can see the manifestation of what we've already received in the spirit to happen in the natural. Okay. I bless you guys so much. I thank you guys for listening in this morning. I hope you have an amazing, amazing, amazing week. And this started you off to a great week. I'm excited about this week's guest. Keep a lookout for the people that we're going to have on, and also keep a lookout for those 3 signs or 3 ways that you can get your zeal back. All right. I love you guys so much. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the morning for Prophetic Push / 31 Days, Day 18. All right. Good night.